The Central Business District, the heartbeat of the capital Kigali. This busy part of the Kigali city, also known as Quartier Mateus, is the hub of commercial activities, not only for the city dwellers, but for the rest of the country. However, it is the same part of the city that still harbors the oldest buildings in the history of this hilly capital of Rwanda. Some walls have cracked, the roofings are falling apart, a concern to the health and the life of the occupants, and a black spot on the city, ranked among the most beautiful cities in Africa. Just walk up there. Some buildings are literally a risk zone, yet they're in the city center. We're seeing modern buildings coming up in the city outskirts of Ruyenzi and Gahanga, but nothing is happening in the city center. I don't understand why we still have old and leaky buildings in Mateus. In Commercial, some people have billions of money, yet they're working under buildings with broken roof. We have seen Chick Complex and other buildings coming up. The lower part of the city has been redeveloped, but little attention has been paid to Mateus. Despite all that, some modern buildings are mushrooming in the Quartier Mateus, slowly but steadily sandwiching old-fashioned structures in the CBD. There's been some changes resulting from the establishment of the city master plan. But of course, Commercial is not up to the level of Vinvedi restaurant building or Makuza Plaza. This place wasn't like this before. You can tell that there has been some changes. There's a new building right ahead, which you've named the White House. There have been some really old houses. But that explains where our country has come from. Renovating and redevelopment is not cheap. We should understand that some people have been putting together resources over the years. I think that's why we are seeing new buildings coming up here and there. What is evident is that even these houses that we think are new shall be replaced with bigger and better buildings. Some property developers in the CBD acknowledge that the redevelopment of the city center has not been as fast as they wish. Businessman Mbundu Foste, who owns popular Aten building, told RBA that property development in Kigali has been hampered by slow return on investment, urging property developers to think about collective investment in multi-billion projects as the best alternative. Some investors are uncertain about getting tenants, especially when multiple buildings come up at once. For redevelopment to come easy, there has to be incentives from the government. Infrastructure like central sewage system, roads, fiber optic, electricity and water should be considered. But again, looking at what the government has done vis-a-vis what we ask of them, it comes back to us as investors. It is easy for multiple investors to acquire an investment loan than when it is done by a single person. The city authority reassures investors that all their concerns are being looked into, which will make it easy for the redevelopment of the Central Business District. Take an example of the area near the city hall, all the way to Plateau, through the main roundabout. This whole area is set for redevelopment. We will see skyscrapers in the near future. Some 4 to 5 big projects are planned for that area. We expect those projects to be ready in the next 5 to 6 years, which will give a facelift to the CBD. Quartier Mateus is undergoing redevelopment. Some investors have submitted project proposals, and they are currently under review by the city engineers. Meanwhile, the city suburbs of Remera, Nyamirambo, among other settlement areas around Kigali, have been undergoing redevelopment in consideration with the city master plan.